Excuse me, Patricia, would I be able to get your reaction to what happened in the courtroom today?
No, we're okay. Thank you.
No comment on the judge's decision?
No comment.
Do you regret vandalizing the home of the NRA chief? Peace, yes, no? Would you do it again?
That was University of Nebraska-Lincoln professor Patricia Hill, scampering away from the media after her trial on Monday. For a sociology professor, she didn't seem particularly social. You see, a Virginia court found Patricia guilty of splashing fake blood on NRA lobbyist Chris Cox's house in January. For this temper tantrum you might expect from a child, the professor must fork up $1,000 and has to keep a 500-foot distance from the NRA guy's house. Cox's lawyer Elizabeth Locke said, "We are pleased that today Ms. Hill was criminally convicted of vandalism for her January attack on the Cox's home. That she was charged with a second count of vandalism for an attack on the Cox family home in October 2017, and that a restraining order was entered against her. We look forward to a second conviction for Ms. Hill at her next criminal trial." Yes, because January apparently wasn't the only time the professor took a trip to Cox's house. But now let's hear some logic and insight from Nebraskans Against Gun Violence Vice President Melody Vaccaro, which I'm sure will be music to our ears.
So you don't think that the judge's decision was fair?
What I think is that the NRA tells American communities that it is not appropriate to be afraid of idiots carrying guns all over the place, but we're supposed to believe he's afraid of a red gel substance on his porch.
Okay, first of all, is it just me, or are all these activists made out of some top secret recipe like Coca-Cola, only less desirable? Second of all, don't you just hate it when people dodge easy questions? Do you think it's fair that we punish vandalism? Yes or no? And I know the left loves framing things in terms of fear with all these different phobias, but this isn't about fear. This is about one party committing a crime and getting punished. The Great American Gun Milt, which, in case you can't tell by the name, doesn't really like guns, led the protests against Cox. They seem to be a very intelligent bunch, sharing a Washington Post article recently with the caption, #MiltTheGuns, because gun culture is a-hole culture. Don't be a gun-dung beetle, eating and excreting the shit talking points and morality of the gun industry. Wow, that totally isn't something a 4-year-old would say. I don't like this. Why? Oh, well, because it sucks. Wow, that sounds like a good reason to strip away the Second Amendment. Anyways, it's good to see someone from the ivory tower brought to justice, even if in this case it was probably only because Patricia was stupid enough to vandalize someone whose house had several security cameras. But even when they do have evidence, like the viral video recordings of disruptions at Josh Blackman's speech to law students at CUNY last month, and Christina Hoff Sommers' speech to Lewis and Clark law students in March, administrators still seem to prefer shoving issues under the rug to standing up to these intolerant, incoherent, and, let's be honest, often ugly brats. For Campus Unmasked, I'm Rob Shimshock. If you like this video and support our mission, please make sure to comment and subscribe. If something happens on your campus and you'd like us to investigate, send us details using the form on campusunmasked.com.